Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to an excited Wrestling Days because we're going to talk about the Firefly Fun House. Of course we are. It's been a couple of days, so makes sense to do a video on the Firefly Fun House and more specifically about Fun House Bray. The reason why we're doing this is because a lot of people have been in touch with me asking me my thoughts about Fun House Bray wrestling a match. Of course, it is massive news. We haven't seen Fun House Bray in an arena yet. We've only seen him in the Fun House. He did appear on like some kind of a news channel presenting the news and the weather, which was very random. But yeah, outside of that, he hasn't actually appeared in the ring. It's always been the Fiend. But they are advertising Fun House Bray Wyatt versus The Miz at TLC. Now, I'll believe it when I see it. We know how these things can change. We might be expecting Fun House Bray and then out walks Daniel Bryan dressed as Fun House Bray or something along those lines. So I'll believe it when I see it. But let's say that it is going to happen. And let's talk about what I would be expecting to see. So I think the first thing everyone wants to know is what is his theme music going to be? I don't think it would be his old theme because Fun House Bray is happier than the old Bray Wyatt, and he's also kind of distanced himself from the old Bray Wyatt. We saw the cardboard standee getting cut up with that chainsaw. So I don't think he would want to be represented by that old music. I honestly think it would be the Funhouse music. I think it would be an extended version, slightly remixed maybe. They'd have to find a way of looping it round. So I think it would be that because that is obviously synonymous with Funhouse Bray. And I do keep calling him Funhouse Bray, and I probably shouldn't because WWE.com refer to him as Universal Champion Bray Wyatt. They call the Fiend Bray Wyatt, and they call Funhouse Bray Universal Champion Bray Wyatt. So not sure if that's just the person that wrote that article or if that's how WWE are referring to the two characters. Anyway, moving forward, we need to talk about how he would interact with the crowd. Obviously, the Fiend doesn't interact with the crowd. When he's walking down, he's very focused. It's not like he's taking pictures with the crowd and giving high fives. I definitely think Funhouse Bray should do that. You know, he could be shaking hands and then every now and again just like stare at someone and just kind of snap out of it. I really like the idea that he's kind of, you know, he's trying to be friendly and everything. He's trying to put on a front, but that mask does slip sometimes. And talking about masks as well, of course, Funhouse Bray won't be wearing a Fiend mask. He'll come out normal. But I do think it would be very cool if, like, when we actually go over to the entrance stage, he's standing there with that paper plate. Do you remember that paper plate of the Fiend? So he could be standing there with that in front of him, and then he drops it down and smiles and waves out to the crowd. I think that would be a lot of fun. Absolutely as well, he should be wearing hurt and heel gloves. We've seen him wearing them inside the Funhouse. No reason why he can't wear them here. And I do think it would be really, really cool if he listened to heel. I don't know what happens at that point. But obviously the Fiend always listening to hurt. I think it'd be really cool if Funhouse Bray or Universal Champion Bray Wyatt would listen to heel. So yeah, I think that would be fun. In regards to puppets and things along those lines, I would do something, but only at like big pay-per-views, things like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. So it could be that before the entrance music starts, we get a Funhouse episode. The puppets are like, "Where's Bray? Has anyone seen Bray?" And there's a bit of confusion, and then obviously we go into him actually appearing in the arena. I really like the idea as well of him not being alone and kind of coming out with some of those comatose expressionless kids. We, of course, have seen kids involved in previous Bray Wyatt matches, so this actually wouldn't be anything new. But I do think because we've seen him in the Funhouse a few times, it would add to this moment. Moving on, we need to talk about moves. I don't think he would have moves too dissimilar to The Fiend. I wouldn't use the neck snap, for example. Maybe he would need a new finisher, something that would work for him. I'm not sure what that could be. If you think you know of a good finisher for Funhouse Bray, let me know in the comments below. One thing I think he could do, though, is the spider walk. It would be a nice nod back to Bray Wyatt of the past. Obviously, we don't see The Fiend doing that anymore. So I think it would be cool for Funhouse Bray to do it. It would just give him a little bit of his own identity. Obviously, no red light during his matches, but there could be a red light when he first appears. The reason why I say that is because when we saw him backstage and he attacked The Miz, he didn't attack The Miz in a red light, but there was a red light that drew The Miz into that room. Our good friend Jessie Callan has actually come up with her own theory that the red light could be some kind of portal into another dimension, a dimension that both The Fiend and Funhouse Bray live in. We know that there's potential for there to be other dimensions and things along those lines. Could there be more to the red light than what we actually first thought? Of course, he did tweet out that you can't kill it under the red light. So there really does seem like there is something to that red light. People are starting to get a little frustrated with seeing it all the time in the Fiend matches. There's probably a reason why you're seeing it all the time, but I don't think you need to see it during Funhouse Bray matches. But I feel like it still needs to be in there. I still feel like it's got a part of this story, so maybe just show it at the beginning. The final thing as well that I wanted to chuck in was obviously the sound effects of the kids laughing and that female voice laughing. Like those kids and their reactions, that's all over the Funhouse. So I really like the idea that when he wins a match, I really like the idea of the sound of kids cheering gets played like in the arena. And you could have the ref kind of like looking around, wondering where the sound's coming from. And obviously if he loses, then the kids are booing. I really like the idea that there's a reaction. It would be a bit OTT to do it all throughout the match. But I do like the idea of them piping that into the arena at certain moments. Probably most notably the very end of the match. So there we go. Just a few thoughts from me regarding how they could put on a Funhouse Bray or Universal Champion Bray match. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.